Fix your house before you sell without upfront costs. Did you know that there's a way to fix up your home before you sell your house without having to pull money out of the bank, get an equity loan, or do a refinance? Everyone knows that a home in tip-top shape is in higher demand and therefore sells a lot faster for way more money. The problem is that most home sellers either don't have the cash on hand to do the necessary repairs or don't want or can't get any kind of financing to make the necessary repairs. So, home sellers just like you make the decision to sell your house in its current condition for less money and ultimately walk away with much less profit. But there's good news. There's a very simple way to update your home before selling without having to get a loan or spend your savings. In fact, there is no upfront costs at all. You see, we've made special arrangements with some of the best local contractors to complete any work that needs to be done on your house before you put it on the market and not collect a dime until after escrow closes. Sounds good, right? Absolutely, because it is. It's one of the best programs that we've put together in a long time to help home sellers just like you. Our contractors will handle all kinds of projects, as little as decluttering and moving things to storage, to a fresh coat of paint inside and out, or even more substantial modifications like full kitchen remodels or bathroom additions, new flooring, upgraded electrical, termite repairs, landscaping for curb appeal, and most anything that you can think of. Again, with no upfront costs. I know. It sounds too good to be true, and it probably sounds expensive too, right? Well, stick with me for just a couple quick minutes and I'll explain everything. Or depending on where you're seeing this, find the link in this video or in the description to open a new tab and watch this video again a little bit later on our website. My name is Anthony Nitz with eXp Realty, and in the 25 years of selling people's homes in Orange County, California, one of the biggest challenges most home sellers have is figuring out how they're going to update and modernize their house before selling in order to put the most amount of money in your pocket after you sell. It's been an age-old problem that needed to be solved for a long time, and well, we've done it. But let me ask you a question. Why would you go through the bother of rehabbing a house before selling it? I mean, it is going to take a little while to get the job done, and after all, isn't it better just to let the buyer pick out their own paint and flooring and redo the kitchen themselves with colors and materials that they want? Well, here's some very good answers to that question. Consider this home. In its original, well-loved condition, it probably would have sold for around $659,000. The seller still owed over $580,000 on the house, and they might have pocketed about $33,000 after closing. The seller chose to do about $137,000 in much needed rehab and turn the house back into a dream home. It ended up selling very quickly for about $980,000 for a hefty profit of about $219,000 after all the expenses, including the rehab costs and the real estate sales fees and commissions. That's more than 6.5 times more than what they would have walked away with before. Would you say that was worth it? With this home, in its original condition, it might have sold for about $540,000. Again, this condo was well loved and lived in. The seller still owed about $415,000, and the seller would have walked away with about $87,000 in their pocket. The seller chose to do a complete refresh with new bathrooms, a new kitchen, new flooring, fresh paint for that new house smell. The rehab cost was about $73,000, and it ended up selling for $780,000, letting the seller walk away with about $256,000 in their pocket, which is almost 3 times what they would have had before. Again, all of this without pulling a dime out of your pocket up front. It has been proven over and over again that even if it's just a paint job, the return nets you more money after closing every time. If those numbers don't excite you, consider buyer psychology and financial position. Most buyers, when purchasing a home, especially in Southern California, are qualifying for their maximum loan amount just to squeeze into the best home that they can get for the money. Most buyers they don't have additional resources after the fact to afford any kind of rehab. So the buyer would rather walk away from the home if it looks like it needs work instead of having to pay for and do the rehab themselves with the money that they don't have. Likewise, most buyers would give up on size of home. They take a smaller home in exchange for being in tip-top condition. That way, they could just move in and be ready to enjoy it right away. By not having your house in top condition, you're losing a lot of buyers and potential profit. And you'll be glad to know that there are absolutely no additional fees, no interest charges, no income requirements or credit checks, and no money is required until after the home sells. The only thing you do pay for is the home improvement work, just like you would with any ordinary contractor. But in this case, only after the home sells. The only obvious requirement is that your house has to have the equity to cover the repairs after the close, and we can help you figure that out. I know, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, Anthony, do you actually expect me to believe that there's no additional fees or inflating the price of materials and labor? I mean, after all, the contractor is financing the work up front and taking the risk that they're going to get their money back. It's a common assumption that we get. Well, I can assure you that our contractors are no more expensive than any other typical renovation company. And when we meet, I'm happy to go into details about how the contractor is not only willing, but very happy to do this without getting any unnecessary fluff. In fact, you're encouraged and welcome to get additional quotes to compare, but don't forget to ask them if they'll do all the work up front and get paid only after the home sells. Just fair warning, it's probably not going to go over very well. And one more thing, just to sweeten the pot even further and put even more money back in your pocket after closing, since your home will be freshened up and rehabbed, or at the very least decluttered, it will be much easier to sell. So we're going to extend to you our exclusive offer to list your home for only a 1% listing fee. This will save you many thousands of dollars without sacrificing quality or service. And we can explain more on that when we meet. There's only one thing left to do. Simply call today for a free, no obligation, no pressure quote on what your house would sell for before and after rehab, and let us show you how it would benefit you greatly. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Oh, and if you're looking to sell your home in Tustin or in the surrounding areas, we have another great video that you don't want to miss right there.